She was late again. Said traffic. Said work. Said everything except the truth that clung to her perfume like static. That night, she showered before kissing me. I watched the steam curl off her skin and wondered if guilt had a scent. I smiled anyway, poured her wine, listened as she laughed, too loud, too quick. I nodded at all the right places, waiting for the quiet to return. The next morning, I cleaned her car. She'd been complaining about the mess. Old receipts, lip-stained napkins, a coffee cup fossilized at the bottom of the cup holder. Then, under the passenger seat, a small silver tube, half-used, lubricant. My hands didn't shake, my pulse didn't rise. I simply looked at it, then at my reflection in the car window. I smiled, small, practiced, distant. Then I walked to my workbench, pulled out a tube of industrial adhesive, clear, odorless, permanent, and switched them. I slid it back under the seat and closed the door gently, as if tucking in a child. When we met, she'd dropped her coffee. I'd picked it up, and she'd said, "You're calmer than most men." She liked that about me, that I didn't rush, that I thought before I spoke. She was fire, and I was stone. Together, we pretended that meant balance. For years, I believed in her chaos, the wild laughs, the impulsive plans, the way she could make a room turn toward her like flowers to the sun. I built my life around that warmth. But warmth fades. And when it did, I noticed the chill, the late nights, the phone face down, the silence between sentences, small lies, the kind that taste metallic in the mouth. I caught her once smiling at her screen, her thumb tracing a message she quickly deleted. I didn't ask. Asking gives them power. I preferred silence. Silence gives you time. I began to track her patterns, not obsession, just observation. The Thursdays that turned into Fridays. The scent of someone else's cologne faintly on her scarf. The hotel rewards emails she tried to delete. It was the precision of her betrayal that fascinated me. How cleanly she compartmentalized it. How she could kiss me goodnight with another man's fingerprints on her hips. So I made peace with it. Not forgiveness, never that. Just peace. The kind you feel right before you start to build something destructive. The plan didn't begin with the glue. That was just the first move. The quiet declaration of war. I started small, logged into our joint bank account and created a private sub-account. Moved money slowly, small withdrawals, unnoticed. I documented everything. Screenshots, statements, timestamps. Then came the house. Her name wasn't on the deed, a technicality she'd once waved off, trusting me too much to notice. I made sure the equity line was paid off, the locks changed, and her mail quietly redirected. Next, I scheduled dinner, the one where she'd planned to talk. I knew she would. People always do before they detonate their lives. They need to justify it first. She came home glowing that night, hair styled, cheeks flushed, a dress I hadn't seen before. I told her she looked beautiful. She smiled like guilt does, bright but brittle. Over dinner, she reached for my hand. "Mark," she said softly, "there's something I need to tell you." I nodded, letting her continue. The words poured out. Confusion, love lost, how it just happened, how she didn't mean to. Every cliché, every predictable note in the symphony of betrayal. I listened, calm, patient, my fork resting beside the plate like a weapon unused. When she was done, I stood, kissed her forehead, and said, "Thank you for your honesty." Her eyes softened, relieved. She thought that was mercy. It wasn't. 2 days later, I heard from her lover, or rather, about him. A mutual acquaintance. Emergency room visit. Minor burns. Apparently, during their private time, things didn't go as planned. Something about an adhesive reaction. I kept my expression neutral, offered sympathy. When I returned home, she was packing. Red-eyed, shaking, humiliated. She wouldn't look at me. She didn't need to. She already knew. "I don't understand," she whispered. I almost told her, almost. But some truths belong to silence. Instead, I helped her zip the suitcase. "Be careful out there," I said. "The world sticks to you in strange ways." She left that night. I watched her car disappear down the road, the same car that held the quiet secret of our ending. No shouting, no violence, just precision. I poured myself a drink. The house felt larger than before, lighter, the kind of light that comes after a storm. Not warm, not forgiving, but clean. I think about her sometimes, about the laughter, the lies, the way love can rot from the inside while still looking beautiful on the surface. But mostly, I think about control. How silence isn't weakness, it's pressure. And how, when you release it at the right time, it doesn't make a sound. It just leaves a mark that never washes off.